everyone. Today I have a quick unboxing of the Simon Says October 2023 card kit and some cards. So let's see what's in it. I get a mesh bag. Mine is in black. Spooky for the month of Halloween. Okay, let's see what else I have in here. Put that off to the side. And let's open this up. And I always put things facing the wrong way. Okay, I did everything. Here, so yes. Ooh, what do I have? Birthday cake, one of the best flavors. Okay, we have some ideology word tags. One of the few ideology things I don't have, so I'm glad to get these. Some everyday scissors. Well, got a pair of these. I guess you can't go wrong having more than one, but I just bought these like a month ago. But that's okay. I'm happy to have another pair. I just bought a pack of these, I want to say, when they came out as well, but you can never have too much bling, so there you go. Did I even use any of these yet? Does not appear so. So I have 2 packs I can play with. Yes, so we have these. These are just awesome little pinwheels. And we have a button. Yay. We have a Swiss Dot Rainbow Splash embossing folder. It's a flat little one, so this should be able to go through any die cutting machines without having to do fancy little, plates. Or just should be easy. Let's hope. Cozy. Paper. This is pretty. Looks like alcohol ink. Dots. Bright and colorful. Stare at that too long. It'd make you go nuts. Very nice. Ooh. Here, look at that. Can you see that? That's another one of those that kind of would look a little, weird. Make your eyes go cross staring at it too long. So we better use that side. And this is just beautiful. Ooh, I like that side too. Why couldn't we have like this on the side of one of those that I'm not really like, wouldn't kill me to not use? Because I want to use both of these. Oh well, I will have to choose. More likely, I probably just won't use it at all because I'll be like not able to choose. Check this out. Got a party stamp, which is good because I have a lot of birthdays I have to make cards for in October. And my birthday's in October, but unless I'm going a little nuts, which, is not beyond the realm of possibility, I don't think I'll be making myself a card. But these are really cool. Some big sentiments, wishing you a birthday as fabulous and amazing as you. Yay. Ooh, I love it. And what do we got here? Oh, a couple card bases. 2 of them, it appears. We have our sheet, tells us everything that's in the kit, and a nice bright yellow piece of cardstock, and a nice bright purple piece of cardstock, and a pair of holographic rainbow. So that appears to be everything in this month's kit. So let me figure out what I'm gonna do, and let's go make some cards. So for this first card, it's actually a twofer. I cut the floral paper at a diagonal, and I was looking at it and decided, hey, I can get 2 cards from this. I'll use the diagonal on one and the little end pieces on another. So these cards today, with the exception of one card, are going to be flat, single panel, easy cards. Well, single panel, no popped up panels. Let's put it that way. They're going to be nice and flat. I don't use foam tape on any of them but the last card. So they will all go through the mail really easily. So I am gluing down my little diagonal floral, and I can't take full credit for these two cards. I did glance at somebody's, I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube, and I'm sorry I didn't get the name. I just noticed that they had floral with white. Now my cards are not the same as theirs. I just drew inspiration, but I really like the way that the white card base just kind of really complemented these florals, because the florals are so busy. Just having the white space really did something, I thought. So I'm gluing, both of these down. I'm doing them both at the same time. And I am going to just stamp a sentiment directly on the card base. And I'm going to use the small happy birthday on one. I don't know if it's real small. It's just not a huge sentiment. And then I'm going to use a scripty happy birthday on the other one in the middle. So the one sentiment, this first one we're doing, I'm going to put it on a diagonal just like my pattern paper. And that's going to kind of really draw the eye. And I like the way it looks. Now I am using Versamark Black Onyx ink. I just love that ink. It's one of my favorites. It stamps nice and crisp. And so I did it at the diagonal. I'm tripping over my words for the first card. For the second card, the scripty sentiment is going in the middle. Now, I could have left these cards like this with just the white and the floral paper, and I think it would have been a very pretty card, but I don't leave well enough alone, and I am going to pull in some rainbow splash gems. Now, if I had to do it over again, I would glue down all my rainbow gems. Now they have self-adhesive, but what I'm noticing with these cards a little bit later is the gems have a tendency sometimes to pop off. And so while I don't want to try to pull the gems off and rip cards I've already done, I think to be safe from now on, if I use these gems, I will glue them down even though they have the self-adhesive. And so I am just gluing these card panels down to the card base. So I guess they're not exactly just one, on the card panel itself. Does that make sense? I've got a card panel and a card base. I did not stamp on the base, which is what I said originally. But no matter. They are full size. I put the panel, it's full size. It's not cut down at all, right on top of the base. God, do I even know how to talk anymore? So I use the red gems on the card with the happy birthday on the diagonal, and then I am going to use little blue gems on the happy birthday card on the right. These gems really match some of these florals really nicely. And I thought for the second card, the blue gems would pull out the blue florals that are on both of the little diagonal or corner pieces. And I could have, probably used blue or done a smattering of all different colors. Just kind of like the way it looks when you just have the one color of gem. So now I'm just going to put 6 on this one. I'm going to put 3 in the upper right, or 3 in the upper left rather, and 3 in the lower right. I swear, I know my right from my left sometimes. And that card is going to be done. So these two cards really are pretty. I think there's something I'm glad I'm going to have in my stash. And that's it for the second card. Now moving on to card number 3. This card is going to take me a while because I end up stamping confetti all over it. Now to start, I cut down the card base to 4 by 5 1/4, and I am lining up the little pieces of a banner. There's like a large banner piece and a small banner piece, and I'm going to use both of them. Now I'm just drawing a little line in pencil so I can try to get my banner pieces right on that line, and I won't have them messed up, because when I was practicing I couldn't quite get these in place without drawing a line. I'd have one that was up a little higher than the other. Now you can see I'm kind of just pulling the Misty closer to myself so I could make sure the line is actually where I want it and the two banner pieces are exactly flush with each other. And so I end up stamping 3 of the big banners and 2 of the small ones. And I'm just using Memento black ink for this. Now I could have used my VersaFine ink for this, but it's a pigment ink and I was afraid I would smear it. I think I might have said I used Versa Mark earlier instead of VersaFine. I don't know. At any rate, it was VersaFine dark onyx or black onyx ink I used for the sentiments on my first cards. So I am just going along, stamping these out. Like I said, I've got the 3 big banners and the 2 small. And I couldn't quite get them to look like they were being pulled down, like as much of a bow as I wanted in it, but I still think it looks fine. I mean, sometimes you put your banners tighter than others, right? You don't always leave them all drapey, and I guess I wanted it to look a little more drapey than it is. But when, I would rather have all my banner pieces kind of fit as opposed to having them like a big gap at the end. And now for my last banner piece, it goes slightly off the edge of the paper, but not enough to really worry about. It still looks pretty good in my opinion. Now these banner pieces have a solid stamp that you can stamp the color. And that way you don't have to use Copics or watercolors, or you could if you want. But because they have this, the solid stamps, you're able just to stamp these banner pieces, which is what I did. And I kind of did a little bit of a rainbow. I used the Pawsitively saturated inks, and I did them in cherry, mandarin, ocean, lucky, and amethyst. So those were the colors I used, and they turned out nice and bright. They kind of, when I first stamped them, they looked a little splotchy, but these stamps, or these inks, they dry back and they even out. And so I went ahead and I just stamped the 3 big banners first, and then the 2 little ones, because, I had the big banner out, the big banner piece out first. So instead of going back and forth. So if you wonder why I'm skipping and doing it the way I did, it's simply so I wouldn't have to keep putting the stamp pieces away. So this is the cherry ink. This is a really pretty red. Well, I hope your fall is going good. I mean, October already. It's just crazy. We're in the middle of spooky season, and I love it. Of course, these aren't spooky cards, but I'm still working on a few. I've got 3 Halloween cards done. I want to make 1 more, so I'll send 1 to each of my kids, and then I think I'll send 1 to my sister, just because they're fun to work on. I wouldn't mind like making a buttload of them, but I don't know that many people to send them out to. Now, granted, I send more Christmas cards than that out, but I don't know that the same pool of people I send Christmas cards to are necessarily ones that would they appreciate a Halloween card? I don't know. So, I just kind of keep the Halloween cards to close family. Oh, and yeah, and I'm going to send one to my daughter's friend because she's a sweetheart. And she's going to be watching my dogs when I go on vacation next month. My son is having a destination wedding, and so we have to be gone for like 5 days. And so I had no one to watch the dogs, and my daughter's friend volunteered, and so she's good with the dogs, and she's been here plenty of times. So, matter of fact, this isn't the first time she's watching the dogs, and so I feel good leaving her with the dogs and the cat. And it's cheaper to pay her than it is to board them, and then the dogs are happier too. So why not? Now I am going to stamp out the sentiment. Let's get the party started. And I'm going to do that before I start doing my my little confetti. Now, the reason is because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have confetti going through the letters. Now, I could have masked it off, but I did not. Now, I've got this sped up, I think like 4 times the speed, because it took me a while to stamp these different, these confettis. Now, you only get the 2 pieces, and so originally I was thinking of multicolor, but then you'd have blobs of each color wherever the one little stamp went. Now you noticed I stamped a little bit over my letters because there are 2 little openings with each of these stamps. And I just kind of put them all over the place and twisted them this way and that. And I'm using the yellow ink. I'm using citrine because my banner does not have a yellow. It's got red, orange, blue, green, and purple. So to complete our little rainbow, we needed yellow. So I'm going to use the citron ink for all the confetti, and then I'm going to mount this card front on a piece of the yellow cardstock that came in the kit. And this citrine ink just matches wonderfully with the Simon Says cardstock, obviously, because they're the same company. I'm not sure the name of this yellow cardstock, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's called citrine as well. Why not? And now I'm going to end up moving my cardstock up a little bit. I don't know if it's right now or shortly, so I can, get this confetti a little bit better placed on it. And I do, after these are stamped, I think I stamp one more right here, and then I end up just using one of these stamps, and I put it in my fingers, and I stamp a few little pieces of confetti up where the flags are, because I didn't want it just looking like there was no confetti in between the different banner pieces. So right now I'm just kind of using the stamp and just free stamping it, and it turns out fine. And so this is our card front, and I think it turned out really well. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to just tape that down using some Simon Says stamp tape runner. And I'm going to put that on the yellow card front cardstock with some glue. I am going to glue this down, and I am going to write out the word like, because that reminds me and hopefully you to like this video if you would be so kind. And I know you are. All my viewers are kind. It really helps me and the algorithm, and I'm trying to slowly work my numbers up. And I am going to put some more of these rainbow gems on this card, and I am just going to use the color yellow. I thought about again, using, you know, all of the colors. But because all of our confetti is yellow, I just thought let's stick with the yellow theme and just use some yellow gems. I put like 7 on this card front. And after I get the 7th one down, this card will be done. Now I think out of all of the cards I made today, I think this next one is my favorite. It's a very simple card. And I am going to use the 3 party hat stamps that came with this kit. We get a polka dot one, we get one with the stripes just going horizontal, and we get one with the stripes at a diagonal. So I'm trying to line them up here, and I'm going to bring in just the T-square ruler from Simon Says. I want to make sure I get these 2 party hats even and spaced out. Now I'm going to come back and do the middle one after I stamp out the right and left one, because I just figure at this point it'll be a little bit easier because I want these hats in different colors. And the 2 I've got on the card right now are far enough apart that I don't have to worry, and I can do the first one in red, in the cherry red ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that down. And then I am going to do the second one in the ocean color, in the blue. Get that one stamped down, and I'll clean my little stamps after. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I pull them off or keep them on there. I think I end up taking them off though, so I have enough room for our little center hat. And we're going to stamp that one in some citrine ink. So we've got our bright primary colors here. And I'm trying to get that hat exactly even with the other 2. And I'm not sure if it's 100% even, but it's pretty close. So now, for whatever reason, this little hat didn't have a pom-pom on it. The one on the right has a star, and the one on the left just has a little circle. And we're going to put one of those rainbow bright gems on this hat. It's like the perfect size, so I am going to pull in a yellow gem. And obviously I'm going to do it after I stamp the sentiment. Now the perfect sentiment comes in this kit, and it's put your party hats on, which is why I stamped out the 3 party hats. And for this one, I did go back to the Versa Fine Black Onyx ink, and I still stamped it twice, which makes me wonder if I need to, you know, re-ink my stamp, because usually, well, not usually, but a lot of times 1 stamp's enough. Now I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off each side. I'm not doing a whole 1/4 inch off one side because that would make my party hats uneven in the middle. And I am going to take 1/4 of an inch off though from the top because we have all that white space up there. And here you can see me putting my little gem right in the spot where a pom-pom would be. And we are going to glue this card base down, or this card front down, on the purple cardstock that came with the kit. And it's a nice, bright, royal purple, real pretty. I don't know why, but I have trouble with this tape runner sometimes, getting the tape out. I'm just going to get that all centered, and we are going to glue the purple onto the card base. And I have a little white card stock showing afterwards, but I'm going to take care of that later. And I just kind of write in my glue again. I have fun writing. Why not? We're trying to get that even. And that was the card. I don't know why I didn't show it to you. You'll see it at the end. Now for this card here, I am making a party hat. Now you take a line and you draw it, you know, and depending what pitch or angle you do that first line, you know, will depend on how wide your party hat is. So you draw that line and then you fold it in half and you're just going to cut it out. Once you fold it in half, you're going to get the same diagonal line on both sides. And you've got the straight line going horizontal on the bottom. And I am going to use the sentiment, I'm so excited for you, I'm shaking. That's why we're doing a shaker card. Now I've got some holographic rainbow cardstock. Now I didn't take the piece from the kit. I actually used a piece of A2 rainbow holographic that I have. And I turned it over, which is what you see with the white cardstock right there. And I am going to center my little party hat template, and I am going to trace it out here on the back. And you see I got the tape because I don't want it to move, and I've got it exactly centered, which was what I was using my T-square for. And I'm just using a pencil, and I'm not worried about how dark the pencil is because this is the back. Nobody's going to see this. I'm just kind of moving my tape and making sure I get those pieces where the tape was drawn in. And so now I've got my little triangle party hat, and I'm going to cut out a slit in the middle. Now I debated for a second or two using my little razor edge there to cut it all out, but I decided I'm going to use scissors and just fussy cut out like I did my practice card here. But you could, you know, just cut your party hat out using the razor edge. But I just wanted to open up a spot in the center of my cardstock and give me a you know, room to fussy cut this. And it's so easy to fussy cut out because it is just, you know, 3 straight lines. So it's not really difficult at all. It's just a matter of turning, you know, getting your turns right when you're cutting and not going over the corners, because you don't really want to see your scissor marks on the cardstock. And so I get that center all cut out, and this is going to be, like I said before, it's going to be a shaker card. So we're going to put my piece of acetate, or a piece of acetate, over the little window we just cut out. And I'm all out of acetate. That was my last full sheet. I'm sure I've got plenty, if I go searching. I know I've got some more that like came in big sheets and different card kits. I don't know why I left it in the kits instead of putting it all in one place. So I've got my acetate there. And now I am going to put some foam tape. I got some Hefty Doodle foam tape, which is like on the thick, I want to say it's 3 millimeters thick. Tripping over my tongue again. So I get that all over the back of the card, and I'm pouring in some of those little clay pinwheels that came in the kit, and we're using those for the shaker card. You hear that? It's so much fun. And so we get those in the center there, and I probably should have added even more of them, you know, because I'm using a white background. I think if I added more little shaker bits, it would have stood out even more. And so I've got the little button that came in the kit as well, and we're going to use that for a little pom-pom on top of our little party hat. Ooh, if I had like some a pipe cleaner or something, I could put like a little something at the bottom, make it look a little like a frill on the bottom of the hat. That would be fun. So I'm stamping out the I'm so excited for you, I'm shaking. Now I ended up stamping this out twice. I fussy cut it and I didn't like the way it looked. And I really don't like the way this looks too much either. But I might end up going over this again. I don't know. What do you think? It's just, I think I needed more at the top and bottom, which I can always redo and put it over this sentiment without having any issues. But I'm going to take these little rainbow jewels and I'm going to match colors on this card. I'm just going to put a bunch all over the front, and where you see the little like blue, I'm going to put a blue little gem. Where you see the red, I'll put red. Yellow, yellow. I'm just going to do a sprinkling all over the front. I just thought, even though we've got the rainbow holographic card, we needed a little something. You hear my kitty meowing at me? He can be a little noisy when he wants attention. And he's wanting attention right now. I've got a dog in my lap as I do this voiceover. I've got the kitty meowing at me. I'm just in a house full of animals. The cat's walking off. I didn't give it attention quick enough. So it kind of gave me that look and just was like, I'm out of here. But I do like the way this card turned out. And I was glad that we got the little button in the kit, because it's just perfect on top of this party hat. I think if I used a gem, it wouldn't have been quite big enough. And I'm almost done with this. So if you like these cards, let me know which one was your favorite. Again, I would love you to give this video a thumbs up. And I would love to have you as a subscriber if you're not already. And if you are a subscriber, thank you. So here are the 5 cards I made. And I do say I think they all turned out pretty well. Anyhow, that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.